Hello, I'm RetroJules, and welcome to World of Tanks, and welcome to my garage. This is my MT-25, Tier 6 Russian light tank, a very quick tank with excellent acceleration, nice alloy wheels, but a dreadful gun. This is a short-sighted passive scout, very comparable to the Chinese 5916, and stats wise they are practically identical, except that the MT-25 is quicker, but it does have a bulkier chassis, which is much easier to hit, but your speed can then make you a difficult target. The cannon's got a okay penetration of 112, pretty much anything you get for a light tank, but it's got a dreadful pea shooting damage of 85. You have to hit your targets a lot of times to nibble away at their health. But it is a very accurate gun at .34, and the gun is the real problem with this tank. The best gun you get with the last package is a tier 5 gun, and you're a tier 6 tank. And this tank really isn't playable until you've unlocked the last package. It's quite a grind, and I didn't get on with it until I unlocked the last package, like a lot of tanks. But what you do unlock with the last package is your top speed and some half decent penetration, so you can actually start doing some decent spotting and some decent flanking and nipping in and nipping out and doing what this tank does best. It is a very fast tank with a top speed of 72 kilometers an hour. That's only 8 kilometers per hour less than the German Speerpanzer at tier 8, which is the fastest tank in the game. And with its 700 brake horsepower engine, it's got very quick acceleration, so you get to that speed very quickly. It's excellent at climbing hills, so you can cover maps very quickly indeed. And it's very manoeuvrable also at speed due to its 48 degrees per second traverse speed. Now, because of the gun, you are a passive scout, and because it takes so many shots to take the enemy's health away, you are scouting, spotting, and just trying to get in and do some damage as and when you can. But I did find that I had an awful lot of fun doing it purely because you can whiz around the battlefield so quickly. It's really good fun, even if a little frustrating. The equipment I carry on this is pretty much standard for my scouts. A camo net just to keep me undercover if I'm going to be static, coated optics to give me an improved view range, but just bear in mind this is a short-sighted tank. And when I say short-sighted, it's 20 to 30 meters less than your normal scouting tank's viewing range. So as a result of that, you are more likely to get spotted before you do any spotting. So it is best to try and stay on the move. But I've also got binoculars so that I can sit back at the map and try and do some spotting from safe spots. So I haven't really got any amazing gameplay footage to show you because I've never really had any amazing games in this. The best game you're ever going to have in this tank is by getting assisted damage, because you're certainly not going to get any damage with this dreadful gun. But here's a game to show you this tank in action. So here we are on Hidden Village, and it's a tier 7 game, and we're a tier 6 light tank, and we're going to head straight for E6, crest the hill, and do some spotting. And you can see already we're up to 70 kilometers an hour. It really is a fast, agile, fun little tank. So we've got a couple spotted. The medium spotted more than we did. And oh, sorry. And you can see when I'm next to these tanks that actually the MT-25 isn't that small, and that's why it can be a relatively easy target to hit. So we're just going to keep working the crest of this hill, trying to pop in some cheeky shots like that T25 and just see if we can do any more spotting and get some assisted damage. And now we start to get a little bit of assisted damage, so we're scouting effectively.
Ready to fire on target.
And you can see as well, this tank actually accelerates in reverse just as well as it accelerates forward, so that can be quite handy for backing up and getting yourself out of trouble. Right, that T-37's on a smidge of health, a little bit of a suicide run. We take him out. I'm hoping to use my speed to just get out of trouble, and we get away with it. So we get a kill and we take out one of their scouts. A little bit of a risky manoeuvre, but something you can do in this tank, and it's quite a lot of fun doing it. So we've got a medium over in the village to the east, a T-43. Yeah, and that T-43, I think he's got eyes on me. I got lit up by the enemy, and now I am on a tiny smidge of health. So we've worked that hill crest as best as we dare. So we'll back up now and just see if we can do any flanking and supporting. So I'm just going to roll up onto this little hill here, a little bit of a high spot, stick my camo net and binoculars on, and just see how we can help. And if I do get spotted, because I'm on a hill, I can roll back really quickly. So that T-43 is still in the village. They've got 3 heavies, 4 heavies and a tank destroyer. Slightly to the left of the middle of the map. And it's quite an even game at the moment. So I decide that we've got a scout and 2 mediums by the river, we've got 2 heavies in the village. That's probably a better direction for me to take, and I'm kind of hoping that I can get around the back of the map and perhaps take Artie out. And just bear in mind with this tank, even if you're shooting at Artie, sometimes that can take 6 to 8 shots just to take Artie out. The gun is that poor. Right, so we've got a pretty good idea where everybody is, so I'm feeling like it's pretty safe. I've got the support of this IS, who's on pretty much full health. There's Artie. The IS sticks one in, and as we get closer I'm quite happy to aim on the move, and luckily it just takes a couple of shots. Oh, and he says great shot. Thank you, you're welcome. So we're just going to skirt back, keep outside the cap so the air raid siren doesn't go off. We don't want anybody coming back for us, although we've got a pretty good idea where they are. We've got the 2 heavies at G6, and the tank destroyer is around there somewhere too. So at the moment we spotted 3 tanks, we've got 5 penetrating hits, 8 assisted damage, and we've taken out 2 tanks, so that's not bad for this little light tank. IS-2 on his last bit of health. Taking some shots but not getting anywhere. We've got the SU and bounces, and this is where, yeah, we get one in the tracks. Just trying to track him again, but he's coming round for me, and I felt the wind from that one. We just get ourselves out of trouble. Now you've got 2 choices here. You could just sit here and let our guys win the game, but I can't help myself when I'm in a scouting tank. I, got a very high mortality rate in a light tank. Very rarely survive a lot of battles. So I decided that I'm going to try and go in and try and flank the heavy, thinking that the SU won't get a shot on me while I'm on the move, and yeah, takes me out. I could have sat up there and just waited for the game to finish, but I thought I'd try and help out. And there we are, burning Little Crisp. That's a sight I see very often when I'm playing light tanks, and I'm playing light tanks a lot at the moment, so I'm quite used to it. So there we go. That's game over. We did okay. So how did we do overall? 33 grand in the bank, that's okay. 1,600 XP, straight XP with a couple of missions, that's really good, and sort of 5th in the leaderboard.